Kareem Hunt, man, like that one, I am so behind. What's your case for Kareem Hunt this year?
Well, I believe that Hunt, for as much as his career got derailed by the off-field stuff, this guy's still one of the best running backs in the league, right? He's technically a backup right now in Cleveland. But if he was a starter somewhere, it's a good chance he'd be top 10 in my rankings, and I think he'd be one of the better fantasy options. You go back to his rookie season, led the league in rushing yards as a rookie, was a top 5 fantasy producer. And then the next year, before the Chiefs let him go, before all that stuff happened, I think he was top 6 again. Now, the Chiefs offense for sure is part of that. But then when he comes back last season and he's playing that complementary role behind a guy who I think is even better in Nick Chubb. I'm not suggesting that Hunt is even better than Nick Chubb. He's the second best running back on his team. But last year, when he came back down the final stretch, he was the RB17 in PPR leagues, while Chubb was the RB15. So Hunt was getting a lot of work. I think it was 43 carries and 37 receptions, something around that range. So they were keeping him very involved. And that makes me think they're going to do that again this year. There's been some talk from the coaching staff that they're going to try to get these guys on the field at the same time. Hunt's been working in the Zoom off-season virtual meetings. He's been working with the receivers as well. So do we see him line up in the slot a little more? That kind of stuff. And then you have a new coaching staff show up there. And this is the biggest one, right? You have Kevin Stefanski come over from Minnesota. Minnesota last year, the 4th most rush attempts in the league. You have the Browns, who were down in the 20s. And the difference, I believe, was like 78 touches for the running backs from the Vikings to the Browns. That's a big number, right? Huge. That's the kind of thing that could allow Hunt and Chubb to be, I forget who said it on our podcast a few weeks ago, but they could be that Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram kind of duo. We could see both these guys put up really big numbers this season. So, and I'm not even mentioning the fact that if something happens to Nick Chubb, which I hope doesn't, because I have a lot of Nick Chubb shares out there, if something happens to him, boom, you have a league winner. You just won your league with Kareem Hunt. I'm pretty much going to guarantee it at that point. So, and you can get him, the cost isn't that bad to get him in, the 6th round or so. He's going off the board as the RB30. I think you're going to get value on that. Even if he just bumps it up, and is sort of a fringe, low-end RB2, you're still getting value there.
100%. I absolutely love every point. Obviously the league winner status, if Chubb goes down, is obvious there, especially in this scheme that's just going to be so insane from Kevin Stefanski that made Dalvin Cook such a monster. But I don't know that he necessarily needs to have him go down for all those points you just mentioned. I mean, look at what made Austin Eckler a league winner. Even was a top 10 running back even after Melvin Gordon came down, because he was lining up in the slot, moving all over, being that Joker kind of Alvin Kamara style role. I mean, give that to Kareem Hunt. I think he's just as good, if not better, than both Kamara and Austin Eckler. Both all very similar talents, but man, he's just as good in my mind. So if you give him that style of role, and they've already said we don't have a clear-cut wide receiver 3, it could be Kareem Hunt, it could be Rashad Higgins rather. It could be an absolute money factor just on his own, and then ultimate handcuff with benefits there. I'm all about it. I was actually writing an article why both those guys could explode, and I cited the Ingram Kamara comparison there, so I love it.
There you go.
It's exactly what I'm considering here too. Is even if you only had him and Chubb plays all 16, he still could be a huge value, because the 8 to 10 carries he's going to get are in that blocking scheme, and the offensive line too. The improvements are insane. You go from the literal worst graded starting tackle in run blocking at right tackle, Chris Hubbard, and you bring in Jack Conklin, the 6th highest grade of all tackles. Unbelievable move. And then you had Greg Robinson at left tackle, middling 60 run grade there. Nothing special, certainly below the top half there. And now you bring in Jedrick Wills at 10th overall. What a clear commitment to the run. What a huge, move there. That he's got 90.5 Pro Football Focus grade. Jedrick Wills. Kevin Stefanski raved about how he's a perfect schematic fit because of how athletic and mauling he is. So just all of that combined means even if Chubb stays healthy, if he still gets, Hunt right around Madison's 10 or so carries a game, he's going to feast on that, especially if they're moving him all over the place. So love the Kareem Hunt call. I think it's fantastic. What is up, you Fantasy Wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.